And here I am. I'm in America. I'm driving down the road, and the Lord opened up a screen before me to my left, and it's like a computer screen. It's just right there, driving down the road, and on this screen appeared 1776, and it was written in calligraphy, like a handwritten old font, and I knew immediately that that was the year 1776. I'm looking at this, and it faded away, and 2024 showed up on the screen. Now this was a font that I'd never seen before. It was almost like it was living. It almost like each number actually was embedded with life. And instinctively, I obviously knew that, we're in 2024. And all I can say is it was like a futuristic kind of a font, but embedded with a high level code and DNA for what's kind of being released right here, right now. So as I'm watching this, on my screen, all of a sudden these two dates, 1776 and 2024, superimposed over each other. And I watched as they actually became one.
Wow.
They came into sync. And I mean, it's going to sound a bit strange, but 2024 absorbed, 1776, and they kind of became one. I'm watching them, and they began to these years began to dance together on the screen, and spin, and they became perfectly together for this very moment in history. And I knew by the Spirit of God that what took place in 1776 was going to be surpassed in history by what is going to be released and what is happening right now in 2024. And I mean, this was the moment for things to drop into place. And so Dave, I'm looking at this, and I'm going like, holy, and all of a sudden the screen turns into fireworks. Now, when you talk about fireworks, there's kind of two kinds of fireworks, as I understand. One is kind of the celebratory July 4th, that kind of fireworks. But fireworks can also be talked about as in places of conflict, where there's fireworks between people or things. And this is the first thing that I seen on the screen, Dave, were these fireworks. And I mean, we hadn't really, in this time in history, we hadn't really experienced the level of what I was seeing and the intensity. And I'm watching this, and the screen changes, and the next thing I'm looking at, I'm seeing uprising and civil unrest, boiling over in cities throughout America. And these fireworks and intensity were actually kind of spawned out of conflict and upheaval. I mean, I knew something big had happened, and it was going to be a catalyst that could not be stopped. And I mean, I'll go as far to say that I did not see any other way to displace this evil that had been predominant in the nation. I saw truth being released, justice being released, and in a moment, evil regimes had to pull out every stop with every evil intention, plan and action to try and stop the deployment of justice that was here and now, and it was really encroaching them from every side. It was no longer being in wait, it was here. And the Lord's justice are being deployed. As hard it is to even talk about, I saw cities on fire. I saw retaliation, conflict. I saw there was, those that were authorities being moved in to do what they had to do. I saw a plethora of military law enforcement taking massive action to arrest and contain these evil ones who were responsible for every inhumane action and corrupt deed. And justice would not be stopped. Now, I'm watching this, and, it's a bit overwhelming. And then I see patriots rising, kind of as a backstop and a force to support what the White Hats were doing and to hold the ground they could that was being taken back. And the rebirthing of the nation was at hand. Now, I know it's a lot, but so here we are, I'm watching this happen. And then I'm showing flags being lowered off of flagpoles, not only in the US, but other cities and nations globally. And what I saw was Babylonian governments being dealt with internationally, and new kingdom governance being released, new flags being put up for the days to come, nations coming under the lordship of the Lord God Almighty, Babylonian systems no longer in control. I saw righteous leaders being set up and released, standing for truth and justice, and the time is now. So I'm watching this, and then I'm seeing global broadcasts happen, releasing truth that people, were really kind of those that didn't know what was going on were now being aware of what was happening and the change that was going on. And the Father was turning the heat up on it all. So I saw the Lord launching hidden ones into positions to lead and rebuild according to his plans and purposes. Now these ones had been hidden and prepared for this very moment, and the Lord had clearly set things up. So as I'm journaling this and I'm writing this down, later in the day, the Lord spoke to me and he said, Barry, tell my people that I'm pulling the linchpin. What is about to take place will cause many great distress, for they could not imagine such evil in those they had entrusted. What these ones have done to kill, steal, and destroy shall now be brought to justice for all to see. And what I'm releasing now will change the nations forever. Hold fast unto me through the darkness and the shaking. It is going to be dark for a time, but trust me in the storm, for it is in this darkness that I work my mysteries and my best to set my people free. And I'm going to do it swiftly. So step in, step with me, stay in step with me as I move. But there's a new day dawning, and I'm about to connect the dots and put things together. I'm going to do so much more than you know at this time. So trust me and trust my ways. For the day is near that will understand what I could have prevented by my power, I permitted by my wisdom. So draw unto me and one another in the days ahead, for we shall do mighty things together to fulfill the destiny over you and over the nations. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will never leave you or abandon you or turn my back on you. And I'm with you through the fire. And I assure you, there's a great victory celebration that awaits. And holy is the word of the Lord.
Wow. Whew. That's intense. That's upon us too, Barry. We can feel it. You and I both know that behind the scenes, these events are about ready to happen. There's warnings of civil unrest by many in our country right now. Exciting times coming. That's why people are not to fear. God has it.
That's right, Dave. He is, he's a God. I'm going to say he doesn't waste one thing or one move. And honestly, we are well positioned at this exact moment for what's coming. And, may he have his way in this time.
Amen. He does. We'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just on fire here, as I shared that again here this morning. I know that I know. I was just saying I'm at peace. I'm at rest completely, knowing what's coming, knowing the Father has it, and knowing that he has people in positions to roll this out. I mean, we're in the best of hands. And, something else, Dave, that the Lord really has given me to share here today. Now, this is kind of a Canadian / American update, but it's actually going to have a much wider impact than just our two nations. And again, every time, I just cannot honor, the American ecclesia and those that are really standing up and stepping in truth as they are. And we're seeing the effects of the saints, the prayers of the saints, really also impacting these exposures and these things that are unfolding. It is so important right now that intercession and that prayer keep driving this thing down the field across the goal line. And what I wanted to share here today, Dave, is that there is a tranche of incriminating evidence that is soon to be released that is going to clearly and implicitly expose Justin Trudeau, the Canadian federal government and Parliament, the National Democratic Party, the Obamas, the Clintons, the Bidens, the IMF, the WEF, the globalist elites, and many others that are involved and they're on the payroll. And these exposures are involved, that are coming, are in regard to international crimes against humanity, major international crime, election interference, and acts of war. There will be infutable evidence exposing pure evil attempts by these ones. Now, listen carefully now for what I'm about to say. These evil ones will and shall be fully exposed. Henceforth, let it be known, number one, every evil, demonic effort, scheme, plan, and tactic shall be exposed, and justice shall be served. Number two, every evil plan, action to stop, eradicate, and take out the threat against them by any means shall be exposed, and justice shall be served on every level. Number three, every evil, demonic plan, scheme, tactic, and action up to and including an assassination attempts, plans, attempts of the past, present, and future shall be exposed, and truth and justice shall be served. Number four, every evil and demonic plan, scheme, tactic, or action by any other means to try and stop truth and justice shall not prevail. They shall be overcome. There is not one thing these evil ones will get away with. For the record, truth, righteousness, and justice shall be served by the Lord, by the mighty hand of God. Deuteronomy 28:7. The Lord will cause the enemies who rise up against you to be defeated before you. They will come out against you in one way, but they will flee before you in 7 ways. So the Lord will not be stopped, nor shall those who walk in his ways. They together will deal with these evil ones and the very structures and the flimsy structures they've built. They are nothing to the Lord of hosts. This is going to be international headline news, and they're going to be exposed and are going to pay the piper. It will show the evidence of foul play and intentions between these cabal-controlled leaders in Canada and America. It all ties together. So it is a time to pray without ceasing, and this is soon to be released for the world to see, and victory shall soon be at hand.